Hello everyone and welcome back to Speed Build Sunday. Today I am renovating this apartment here in San Myshuno. I don't know the exact name of the apartment, but it's on screen and you guys can read it. I can't read it in my little preview. So I did this on live stream sometime in the last week or so. It is from my Doing Random Things in The Sims 4 live stream if you want to watch me build it live. And in normal speed and not sped up. But I just decided that I wanted to renovate a random apartment, and so I picked this one because it was like a nice sized apartment, and the guy had like 7 pets. He had like 6 dogs and a cat. So I was like, this is gonna be so cute. I can make like a cute little animal friendly apartment, and I love the way a majority of the apartment turned out. I always struggle so much with pet rooms and trying to like decorate those, so I struggled with that. You'll also see a lot of pauses like that. That's where I'm reading the chat, talking with people in the chat. But I overall love the way this apartment turned out and like the style. I went with the darker theme for it. His career, he is a musician, and so I kind of tried to play into that a little bit. I figured, he's going to kind of be more of like a night person, evening person. He's going to want that darker kind of vibe. And I think that this apartment fits him pretty well. Like I said, the only room I really struggled with was that I didn't really care for was the pet room. I struggled a little bit with the bathrooms and trying to figure out what kind of aesthetic I wanted to go to. I feel like I don't love many of the tile options in the game. And so it's like I can find a floor I really like or I can find a wall I really like, but I can't find both that work really well together. I ended up, instead of leaving it open concept, I kind of closed off the apartment, which usually I leave it pretty open concept, but I decided not to do it this time, and I love the way it turned out, especially because I ended up kind of still keeping it somewhat open, but not fully open concept. Like, that wall stays there, but, like, there's no actual door to the living room or anything like that, or, like, the wall doesn't come all the way across. Part of me wonders if maybe I should have done that, but I didn't, and I think I like it because then it kind of makes it so you can kind of sit in those, like, sit at the bar stools in theory and, like, lean around the wall and talk to whoever is sitting in the living room. I also want those really fancy stools to try to play into, like, the musician, and then when I went to the couches, I just could not bring myself to use, like, the couches that look like that. I just don't like the way they look at all. No hate, I just don't like them. So I love, like, the modern aesthetic of the kitchen, but in my head, this kitchen in this apartment, it's kind of like, it's an older building, so it's gonna have a little bit of charm to it and a little bit of, like, that, like, features from when it was originally built, and this is one of them, and it is that I put this little, like, brick cutout window in there, which I know realistically that'd be on a brick wall, but I don't really care that much, and I think it looks really nice. And it kind of brings into where people can, like, still talk with those that are in the living room, but feel like they're in their own space. And I just tried to clutter up the kitchen a little bit so it looked less blank. And then you'll see me just kind of, again, right there. I had a tough time with what to put and where to put it. I knew I wanted a piano in there somewhere because he's a musician. I put, like, a guitar, some amps, but, like, there's that one really straight wall opposite of the kitchen, and I struggled with what to put on that wall. You'll see here I debated making that a brick wall, but then I was like, I just don't like it like that, and I even picked, like, the matching brick. And then I went with, like, these cinder block walls, and that was another little thing that was like, maybe that's, like, they kept that from the original apartment, like, before they renovated it, but I don't know, didn't flesh out those details. And then you'll see me just kind of working on the bathroom here and trying to decide what kind of mirror I wanted to go with. Both my basic spa day mirrors. I love those mirrors. I also love these new kitchen counters that they brought. I believe did they come in a base game update? I could be mistaken, but I think they're base game. I love them either way. They're some of my favorite kitchen cabinets. They're just so versatile and so simple. They come in so many different color swatches. I also tried to clutter up the bathroom, make it look a little cluttered, like it's lived in basically. I do think the toilet's in a kind of awkward spot, but I didn't know a better spot to put it because I wanted the full length shower and I wanted the extended vanity. So I didn't know what to do there. Again, I'm getting into like the reds and the blues and a little bit into the greens in the bedroom, with the bed having a little touch of green, the nightstands and the dresser have that little hint of green on them. And I don't know how I fully feel about it, but I like the dark color of like the wood. And then I hung some posters up and just tried to decorate a little bit. I ended up moving, like, the chat wanted me to center the window, or the bed on the window, but I didn't want to move the bed over. I liked it being closer to the wall in this room, so I just moved the whole window, which I typically try not to like move windows in apartments. This apartment is one of the historical apartments, so it has that little plaque that you can't move. So I was kind of limited on where I could put some of the walls because of that plaque. And then I stuck some decorations in like the corners because I didn't know where to put them. For like a female apartment, I'm a little bit better with, but for like a male only apartment, I struggle with what to put and where to put it. And then I put I put wall art up that's kind of a smash, but again, it's The Sims. We don't have a lot of options, especially because I try to avoid custom content in my speed builds, unless it's for a personal save. And then here I was going to put the living room and focus it on that, like, bump out, but they told me, Chat told me I should put it here. And I do really like the way it turned out. I tried to find a way to fit the big, like, grand piano, but it just didn't quite fit. It was just a little bit too big for the space, so I went with just, like, a basic fancy piano. That was just me showing there are no couches that fit in that nook because of the size of it and like the awkward size of it compared to what the furniture we have. So that's that. I ended up putting the cat tree there so it's like the cat can sit there and look out. Went with a fancier rug, a matching coffee table for all the other furniture that's kind of peeking around the house. This I loved. I ended up finding the little amps, matching to the guitar and like putting that over there so like maybe if he has guests over you could play his guitar, whatnot, and then put a little lamp in the corner. And then the really quick part is going to be when I get to that pet bedroom. It does not take me very long, especially because like the pet beds take up so much space. And like I know it makes sense because like they're big dogs, but I feel like they take up so much space. I wish they were like 1x2 instead of 2x2, and like this little like narrower. And then here's where I struggled. I didn't know what to put there, and I guess looking back, I could have put a dining table in. But I didn't think about that when I was building it, and no one said anything. So, a little like, I guess there's like a little mudroom built-in thing there. And I put the pet bowls inside of it, on either side of it. Maybe one's for the cat, one's for all of the dogs. And then you'll see me just kind of decorating this little room. I'll put the litter box in there. And again, I struggle with just like where to place everything. And then toys, which annoyingly with toys you have to place all the individual toys in the ground. But that is it for this build. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. Go ahead and leave a comment down below for any suggestions for future builds. If you want to see more Minecraft and Sims content, go ahead and subscribe. I make tons of Sims and Minecraft content. Alright, bye everyone! Mine is so far. Mine is so far. Mine is so far.